Appreciate you, Coach. One of the great venues to watch a game in any sport. Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the inline. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They'll be led out by the man who proclaims to be from a whole pack of Badgers. Came into the league back in 2012, Russell Wilson.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some. They threw it accurately. One touchdown pass. So he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
One thing that's great about watching him run, Charles, he doesn't hesitate. He got to the left side of his O-line and just went.
So there's two ways to look at that. One, just absolutely unconcerned, just takes off and goes. But more the latter, I think, which is he has absolute confidence in the guys in front of him, the guys doing the blocking for him. He just takes it and goes with abandon.
Jumpy on the right side of the line.
Sometimes when you're on the end, a little bit farther away from the ball, any type of movement will get you to jump, and that's exactly what happened there.
Now a chance to make that encroachment penalty really hurt. 1st and 5. Now a give, right side. It's Carson. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35. And with this offense, what about DJ Fluker?
Came out of Alabama, could play tackle, could play guard. He's so big, Brandon, I think he plays both at the same time.
From the 35 on 2nd down, Wilson. And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
So here are the Bears banked up to start their initial drive. And a look here at their go-to guy under center.
What I enjoyed this week is that you asked to talk to his offensive center before the game and find out a little bit more about him and what the relationship is. And that was a pretty positive story, wasn't it?
Yeah, and really what I took away from that is just how it has permeated throughout the entire offensive line, the relationship they've had. It's really a group that's in sync.
They care about him. That's the thing. They really care. And when you care that much, you're going to play that much harder for him and give a better chance to lead the team that wins.
The numbers on the ground for Montgomery in last week's affair. 10 carries, 57 yards.
And now that he's playing a Thursday night game, short week, he spent a lot of time in the trainer's room in the cold tub trying to get his legs back for this game.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A gain there of 21 yards. With that grab, he now sits at 200 for his career, and maybe more importantly, a 1st down. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. From the gun, it's a give to Montgomery. A gain of 3, 2nd down. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Here's a 2nd and 7. It's complete. It's Miller. 12 yards there and a 1st down. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Montgomery on the counter. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. A sizable gain there, 9 yards as they get it back to a 3rd and 5. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And he's got Miller. And now Miller hit, and he fumbles. And the Seahawks have recovered.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Chris Carson trotting back out there. Those are his numbers through roughly the first half of the season, and given that, you'd have to think he's on pace for a 1,000-yard campaign.
Steady as he goes, steady goes the offense, but you know what else is happening too, because they are a team now recognized with the ability to run the football. You've got to be able to throw it better now, right? Better throwing lanes, better opportunities for the guys downfield, maybe more one-on-one coverage, which you should be able to beat easier. Yeah, he's establishing not just a tone, but an identity for his team.
And that's a discussion we had a couple days ago in the team meetings, talking about this running game, opening up the passing game. We'll see if that continues to happen. The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Now it's Wilson. It's complete to Snead. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Wilson. Snead's got it. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. This is Carson, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson dumps this one off to Chris Carson. And he'll be taken down shy of the 25 that he needed. He'll be a yard or 2 short.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Myers' kick is good. And the Seahawks grab a 3-0 lead. So a good kick there. They put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the throw.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow. Not the time, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
And a short kick, taking it about the 16. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, and pushed it past the 50-yard line so they felt they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? Second and 10 from the 33-yard line. Second and 10. Open man, Tanner Gabriel. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 43.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. First down, here's the run with Montgomery. Tackle made there by Jordan Poyer. The first down run got 5. Here's second and 5. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And the Seahawk defense gets to him and they bring him down. Vic Beasley able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on third down. He'll look to throw. Caught by Montgomery. And he can only get this to the 42-yard line, and that is not near enough.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. This is Josh Lambo. He hit from 57 a year ago. This will be spotted just shy of midfield. A 59-yard attempt. And that is no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
So here are the Seahawks ready to take over on offense. They're on a 3-game winning streak, and right now looking good in this one as well. So they tried the 59-yarder and missed it, and now this offense starts just 1 yard shy of midfield. They'll start out on the ground with Carson. The numbers on the ground for Carson last week: 24 carries, 79 yards, and a touchdown.
And now that he's playing a Thursday night game, short week, you know he spent a lot of time in the trainer's room in the cold tub trying to get his legs back for this game.
On second down, it's Carson, and he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. It's a first down on a gain of 10. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards, but also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now we've got whistles and movement up front. I think this is against Seattle. That'll make it 1st and 15. A false start backs them up 5. 1st and 15. From the gun, it's Wilson. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. This unit against the pass, hoping to get better for sure. Number 25 in the NFL right now.
What they lack in pass defense, they do make up for in run defense. They're a top 10 unit against some people trying to move the ball on the ground. But this is a passing league. So there's a conundrum for them. How do they get better defending the pass?
On 2nd and 15 now. Wilson. Here's Carson with a catch out of the backfield. And this time not quite to the 30. He'll be down at the 31-yard line. On 3rd down, Wilson. He'll check that down to Carson. And he will not make it to that imaginary yellow line as they get him to the ground at about the 23.
A short gain that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. And for the second time tonight, his field goal unit comes out here. He hit his first, this one from 40 yards out. And Myers able to knock it through. And that'll make it 6-0 here in the first. So 2 first-quarter field goal attempts for him, and he's converted on both.
I like the positive right there. 2 for 2, got the points on the board. The negative side is they didn't score touchdowns. And, of course, going forward in this game, that's going to be the aim. And hopefully he'll be kicking extra points instead.
And a short kick, taking it about the 16. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Montgomery. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. They're going to look to throw. Going to let one fly for Robinson. This is caught at the 20. And he is down deep into Seattle territory. Nothing our score after 1. Back in Chicago, ready for the second quarter. It's the Bears in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. A give to Montgomery out of the gun. Down he goes at the 10 with a solid pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. That's caught by Montgomery.
Pass complete, but no gain.
No yards.
Yeah.
So you file that as unsuccessful.
Yeah, you do, don't you? Except on the stats, throwing the ball.
Get a completion.
You get a catch.
Yeah.
But still,
no yardage.
Okay.
They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here.
Set the tone, defense. Let's go. Ready.
They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5. Give him a gain of 4, able to convert, and that sets up 1st and goal now.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
He'll drop to throw. And that's caught for a Bear touchdown. It's the tight end, Trey Burton. Trey Burton, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys can now take the lead with the extra point. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Point after by Lambo, up and good. And they take the lead here at 7-6. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it culminates in a touchdown for Chicago. And Lambo now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. Fairly short kick, taken at the 14 here. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. Now they're about to come up on drive number 4, but so far just 2 field goals on drives 1 through 3.
Wondering if the head coach has talked with his offense coordinator and said, look, let's go ahead and press this a little bit. I'm giving you 4 downs on just about every occasion to try and get this offense kick-started and have it culminate in touchdowns. You know, maybe someday you press it a little bit. This might be the case.
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. On the delay, here's Carson. And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. 8 yards here, so that gets him back within striking distance. And now it's 3rd down. Now Wilson. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. That'll pick up the 1st down for Seattle on a gain of 18.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now it's Carson. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 11 yards there, 1st down.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Throwing is Wilson. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. 1st down Seattle on a pickup of 13. An inaugural trip to the red zone here for the Seahawks. 1st and 10 right at the 20. Now a toss play. It's Carson. And some strong running. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Penny. And once again, he's going to be stopped up behind the line. Second straight play. Shades of the 85 Bear defense a little bit. Bear in mind, that wasn't a big lineman back there for the tackle for loss. That was a cornerback.
So are you saying the myth has been shattered? That all of them are not just cover corners? Some of them actually will stick their nose in and tackle when necessary? That's what we just saw, isn't it?
A third field goal of the first half, not what they're looking for as they come up on third down. He's got Lockett. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry? Ball gets tipped in the air. Because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
Now we've got whistles and movement up front. I think this is against Seattle. Well, we're back where we started. It'll be first and 10 after the 5-yard penalty. And the situation changes a bit now. First and goal from back at the 10. That's complete into the hands of Carson. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's second and goal. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4. 7 big yards on the carry there to get him within range of the goal line with third down upcoming. Wilson. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
The penalty gets them half the distance closer, but they'll still need to come up with something on third and goal. Penny will try to punch it in. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. Losing 4 yards that time, and now it's fourth down. Okay, so you just took the big loss. Now what are you doing on fourth down?
Well, we have a change of plans now is what we have, because I think they were looking at the play sheet, trying to dial something up to go for it on fourth down. But after that loss, that goes right out the window. Now you have to kick the field goal and hope to come back down the next time and score.
Myers' kick is good. And they jump back in front here. It's 9-7. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. They'll set up to throw. Able to find Shaheen, the tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 18 yards on that one, and Chicago has the first.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
This quarterback now, only one pass has hit the ground for him. 10 of 11 thus far. It's 1st and 10. Back to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Montgomery. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35. 2nd and 9 now. He's got the hook up to Miller. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. They'll set up a throw. This is Miller, complete. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. That'll put him at an even 50 receiving yards now in this first half. And it's a 1st down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Here's a 1st down throw that's complete, and he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. 2nd down and inches. He finds Robinson, and he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down. So it's 1st and goal, and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. He's got Burton here. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. 2nd and 4. Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. Taylor Gabriel. His 6th touchdown of the season, and the Bears have retaken the lead.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Marty looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
Extra point tacked on by Lambo, and the lead is up to 5. So that drive, 12 plays in length, and the end result is a Bears touchdown. And Lambo now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. This will be taken about the 12. Now a hit and a loose football. And this is picked up by the Bears. Look at this. Middle of the field, a breakaway. And they bring this one back. A fumble return for a Bears touchdown. So problems here on special teams, and it results in the scoop and the score.
They talk all the time on special teams about keeping your head on a swivel, trying to see the whole field. Hard to do when things are going that fast, bodies all over the place. You're just trying to find the right guy to align yourself with. On that play, wow.
Lambo to add on the extra point. And this one gives his guys a 12-point lead. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And a short kick, taking it about the 16. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line. Chris Carson trotting back out there. Now he's having himself a little bit of a banner game. His team right now, though, losing.
Needs a little bit of help, and I kind of equate it to a basketball game where you have the big score, and sometimes your strategy is, okay, he can go ahead and have all of his points. Let's hold down everyone else, and that's the way you win the game. And right now, he needs everyone else to start scoring, quote-unquote, as he's been.
Yeah, and he's hoping to keep it close so maybe they can keep it on the ground, not start to go through the air as much. To throw is Wilson. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock. Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And that had far too much air under it. It's out of the back of the end zone, and the football will come out to the 20-yard line. Final 10 seconds of the half as they've got it 1st and 10. And he's going to lose yardage, not that it matters, as the final seconds tick away. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. So we come upon halftime here at Soldier Field with the Bears out in front, as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and CD in a minute. First, it's time to take a look at what we've got coming your way this weekend in the NFL. We'll start in the early window and begin up in Minneapolis. A tough one for the homestanding Vikings, as they'll do battle with the Los Angeles Rams. In the late afternoon games, it'll be loud in Kansas City, that's for sure, as it'll be the Chiefs taking on the LA Chargers. And then finally, a good one on Sunday night between the Buffalo Bills and the Atlanta Falcons. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Bears to take over on offense. They were winners a week ago over the Steelers, and they lead this one as well as they start here 1st and 10. Third quarter starting with a run from Montgomery. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Back to throw here. Robinson's got it. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Encroachment defense.
So 5 yards there as one of the big guys up front moved.
And in a 4-3 front, you got the 2 defensive tackles right near the football. I know there's a lot of movement around there, but they're always taught to have one eye on the football. Apparently, that didn't happen.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. Following the penalty, Montgomery, not much there, maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40. They'll keep pounding here with Montgomery. Oh, it springs free. Montgomery loses it.
Wow, that ball was knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
Let's go, D. He's crashing. He's checking.
They'll drop to throw. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Vic Beasley in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
And that's the 2nd sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
Here's Matt Wild now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
Wilson after the play fake to Carson. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Khalil Mack racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now here's Michael Dixon as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get...
And he loses the football a second time. But the Bears look to get this one back, and indeed they did. So they'll keep possession. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
And that'll be incomplete. After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. He'll look to throw. Open man is Miller. He's got it. He takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. A good pickup, 17 yards and a bare first down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
They'll look to throw now on first down. That's complete to Robinson. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. That first down completion only netted him 3. Second and 7. Here's the second and 7. He completes this into the hands of Miller. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. On third down, they go Montgomery. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. 3 yards on first, 4 on second, and now 5 on third down. Move the sticks.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on third down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards.
I got you.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. This one into the hands of Burton. A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's second and 4. On play action, they'll throw. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 28.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's first and 10. Montgomery back to the ground. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a second and 13.
Early down stuff's to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's second and 13. They'll run it now out of the gun. They'll get it to the 23-yard line. 8 yards on the run, and that cuts this down to a third and about 5. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Something we haven't really seen much of from him, an incomplete pass.
Yeah, last week he finished at 70%. This week he's up over 80%. I don't know how you slow him down. Pass rush is usually the best way because a quarterback on his back usually can't complete a pass.
And for the second time tonight, his field goal unit comes out here. From the right hash, this from an even 40 yards out. And Lambeau will put this one through, and that will extend their lead even further. So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you'll see a lot of guys sag and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
This will be taken about the 12. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Move 15. Here we go. Double time. 3 down. Hey, check it.
They run it with Carson. Bust through the tackle. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
58.
Throwing on 2nd down. Wilson. It's complete to Snead. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. It's complete to Lockett. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And it'll be 4th down. Well, they opted not to run it. They completed the pass on 3rd and 2, but they lost yardage to bring up 4.
Well, give credit to the guys on the other side of the ball. They snuffed out the play. But it does bring into question, 1, the play call, because they didn't run the ball there. They could have run it. And 2, just not getting it. That's got to be deflating for them.
And that will go out of the back of the end zone. Way too much mustard. Not a good punt, and it will come out to the 20. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. And right now, probably just one thing in his mind. It's getting back to the hot start because he's really faded.
And ordinarily when that happens, the quarterback, as you know, is usually the leader of the squad. Now there's probably a silent camaraderie that comes around him saying, hey, guess what? We got you. Don't worry about it. Let's go, big fella. Because they know more times than not, he tends to pick things up, and they tend to play well.
Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. Now back to throw.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big. Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Here's Matt Weil now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. Yeah, call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. As Seattle now ready to march onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Wilson. And that would not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this 3rd quarter of play. Back now at Soldier Field. It's the Seahawks with possession of the football, but they do trail here to begin quarter number 4. They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Now Wilson. And Jennings has it. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. He got 29 yards that time.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
Wilson now. 5 straight completions here in this 2nd half. 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Wilson. Snead's got it. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. That'll pick up the first down for Seattle on a gain of 18. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball, and you put up a token press. Make sure you get up there and make them eat up some time. Make it a little bit of resistance so they can't just run it right down your throat.
On first down, Carson. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. From the shotgun, Wilson. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Bilal Nichols just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7.
Remember, throughout my career here in defensive coaches, I always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. From the gun, Wilson. And he's going to go down again. Eddie Goldman with a sack.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Now here's Michael Dixon. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away.
And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down.
That's what I'm talking about. Sacks all day, baby.
I think most quarterbacks would love to have the goal line actually extend up into the air and turn into a wall. And they can put their back against it and know exactly where they are on the field so they don't end up in the end zone. Didn't do it on that play, but perilously close to the goal line.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Now Montgomery. And he'll take this up to about the 7 or 8 yard line. It's a gain of 5, but they're still deep in a hole. 15 yards still to go on 3rd down. So they'll walk this back 4 yards from the 8 to the 4-yard line. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. That'll be a gain of 15 yards. And that's going to make it 4th down.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
Here's Matt Weil now as he's on to punt for Chicago. And he puts a little something extra into this one, by far his best of the night. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
And throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A good pickup there, 21 yards. Fourth quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Wilson now. From the gun, he'll throw. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Throwing again. Wilson. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10, right at the 40. Wilson will throw again. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Here's Wilson. Going to throw again. And he comes back with one complete. And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34. They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets him 6. Over the middle, complete. It's Hodges. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
Switch up.
On 1st down, Wilson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and this is picked up by the Bears. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over. But that one, that puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It was a 2-possession game. It is a 2-possession game at this stage in the 4th. They needed points out of that drive.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
The Bears offense now heading back out onto the field. Turnover that just got them the football back. Obviously a big one, because had they been able to score on the other side, this would have been a 1-possession game.
So you don't sense full relief here then?
No, I don't. Especially with the ball this deep in their own territory, because you make a mistake, they've got it right back in prime position.
They certainly do. So now, almost like almost like a 4-minute offense, right? Take care of this bad boy. Make sure the other team doesn't touch it, but move it with consistent gains. Wear down the clock and make them use their timeouts in this situation.
Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. 2nd and 1. He's got Burton here. And he'll be taken down, but they got this one up to the 35-yard line. That one a gain of 20 and a 1st down. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, this is a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Now a run with Montgomery. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38. They'll keep it on the ground. Montgomery. It'll go as a gain of 7 on the play, and it sets up a 3rd and inches situation. They're going to look to throw. And he's got Miller. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. That'll put him at 95 receiving yards now as he's got a first down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Ready. 54. I got one. Check.
Back to throw. This is caught by Robinson. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. On the ground, it's Montgomery. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They run, Montgomery. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 14 yards in a Chicago first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Check. Watch it before. Watch the slant.
They'll run on first down. Bowser. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Check 3. Ready.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Really in a hole here, 3rd and 17 following the 2 negative plays. On the carry, it's Montgomery. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. On is Josh Lambo for the field goal try. This to make it a 3-score game late. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And that will extend their lead even further. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down. But don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Chris Carson trotting back out there. And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like a misprint after what we saw in the first half. But let's give a little bit of credit to the guys on the other side of the ball. They went in at halftime, made a few adjustments. And you know what else? They didn't lose their confidence in their ability to play. Because a lot of times you get beat down in the first half. It gets ugly in the second half. They've come out with a new resolve and a renewed determination.
Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Throwing again on 2nd down. Wilson, and he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 11 yards there, first down. That's complete into the hands of Carson. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. Throwing is Wilson. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Wilson to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is going to be incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Bears are going to get the football back, and they're going to get it in great field position. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
We got four down.
On 2nd down now, it's Montgomery. And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll make it 3rd and 13. So this one in the win column for the Chicago Bears. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second-half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Bears, they close out this first half at a very solid 6-2. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, they drop just their second game so far as they fall to 5-2. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.